Right. Evening. Hey folks, we'll be starting at 12, so we've got roughly 2 minutes, so thanks for being here. Right, looks like the cat wants to get out. Bloody cat. Hokey cokey. Right, 1 minute to go. Completely random. I play a lot of late night gaming, and recently my eyes have started getting really sore. And so someone said I should get these sort of red light filter like glasses. And I don't know what it is. These glasses give me headaches. Literally, I cannot wear glasses. I don't know why. Maybe it's is it just me? I don't see other people having problems wearing glasses. I mean, there's no like red light filter, but it just gives me a headache. Don't know why. Anyway, 12 o'clock. Let's crack on. I have to apologize. There are builders all over the house. Building, just doing all sorts. So you will hear a lot of random noise. So what we're going to do, we've got the chat box flowing. Shared my screen. So this is going to be a relatively quick one. So on the 10th, so what day was the 10th? It was Saturday. So on the Saturday, I put out a red light filter, a blue light filter. Sorry, that's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah, so on Saturday, I put out a YouTube vid saying there's more falling to come in crypto. Remember, this was like when all of Twitter was going, hey, we're going to the moon now. And I thought I'd just do a little update with what's happened since. So here, I was basically saying we'd see further falling and that a move to 30 to 31,000 is likely and that we're breaking out of this rising compression. What's happened? That we've had the breakout. So the market is jumped down. In fact, did I jump down on the 4-hour chart? Here we go. So these are my doodles. I said that it would come back up. We'll do a Kobo, so kiss off, bugger off. And what actually happened was somewhat similar. So it, instead of moving down straight away, it faltered up. It sort of drifted up a bit and started creating another bit of a compression. And then we finally got the move down. So this move down here was that move down here. The little pullback I thought would happen was this little pullback here. Or it could have been this one, actually. But either way, there's still further falling to come. I'm pretty confident on that. So that was Bitcoin. What happened with any others that I was talking about? Let's fast forward. Ether. Oh, yeah, Ether. So here, what I think I was saying is that I'm going to get rid of the chat so you can actually zoom in a bit more. That's not me, by the way. That's the builders. I'm just going to talk louder. So I was saying that it's highly likely we'd see a bit of a head and shoulders and a fall back down to sort of $1,800 or a bit lower. So that was on the 4-hour chart. And yeah, because on the daily chart, so anyway, a move upwards. Did I do any more doodling on that one? No. So what's actually happened on Ether is that it followed through. So, I may have not done it on that video. There we go. So, in fact, on Monday during the trading plan, I said, look, we're getting this head and shoulders, and also the right shoulder's creating a double top. So the neckline should fall out to 2,000. And if the market hits 2,000, we've got a massive double head and shoulders, which would then see further falling down here. And it's happened like clockwork. We've had having a bit of a Kobo now, so the markets. So we've had the big breakout, and we're getting a Kobo back to this resistance level, but we've got more falling to come. So that's with that one. What else? ADA. So Cardano, again, I said further falling. We'd probably have. I said the spike. We should have a spike to between $1 and $1.10, but we'd have a nice drift down to 120 again. So ADA. What's actually happened? Here we go. We had the breakout. Ignore my doodles, but wasn't far off, and we hit 120 exactly. And we're in a bit of a pullback at the moment. So further drifting should come. What else? So that's still going to ADA. Polkadot. Yeah, again, Polkadot fell as Polkadot. Here we go. Polkadot had a nice fall. Remember, there was this compression that I was talking about. Is that Polkadot still? Yeah. And then we finally had the collapse through here, which is nice. And in fact, this is probably quite boring for you going through all these old charts. But yeah, Solana, here we go. This is the last important one. I said that Solana was actually looking quite not as weak as all the others. However, there was a topping pattern here, and that we'd see a further falling down to about sort of 28, 29. And what's happened with Solana? Here we go. We had the fall down back to 28, 29. But the reason it's quite strong is that it's sat on this massive level of support. So Now, when I made this update, I was completely out of the market, and I was waiting for further falling. And so there are parts. I'm just going to keep talking because they're going to be drilling all day. What was I going to say? Yeah, so parts of my portfolio are back in. Again, my students in the community know when I got in and what I got in and what else I'm waiting for. There is a risk here, though, folks. There is a risk. So what you'll see is that a lot of cryptos, or a lot of the cryptos, are now resting on strong levels of support. Solana has just smashed into this level of support here, and so it's not as weak as the others. Oh my god. There's like two drillers, one over there and one over there. They've been quiet all morning. I think they've been setting up for my 12 o'clock live session. Yeah. Okay, this is rather annoying. Anyway, I think so when you're looking at the on-chain analytics, so the on-chain stuff, pretty much everything we're looking at on-chain is bullish. So I'll show you a few things. For example, let's get Glassnode out, Crypto Quant. So ones of note, the things. Here we go. 1 second. Here we go. Yeah. So if you're looking at this one here, this is all exchange reserves. So this is basically looking at all of the exchanges and how much ether are on the exchanges. So typically, reserves go up before a crash. And the reason behind that is people send all of their ether from their wallets to the exchange so they can then sell it. So when exchange reserves go down like this, it's actually really bullish. It's really bullish. That means ether is going away from the exchanges, which means no one's selling. They're basically hodling them in their wallets. So there's that. That's really bullish. Again, for Ether, I don't own any Ether, by the way. I'm getting more Ether via my Polkadot. The total value staked of an Ether is just a continuous marching upwards. The same with if you look at the unique depositors for Ether, it's just relentless. So although it's got huge problems, Ether, huge, and 2.0 is just going to take forever. It's just got the network. It's got the network value, so it's just going to keep on going up. Any other notable ones? So that's that one. 1 second. Here we go. Oh yeah, the other thing is the difficulty rate and the hash rate. So obviously China had knocked out a fair amount of that hash rate, as we can see over here. But what we've seen recently is a bit of an uptick in hash rates. As I said, it's going to take a few months really for the rest of the world to pick up the hash rate that China basically knocked off. But the pickup in hash rate is happening already. It's starting to make its way up. Now, yes, this could be a bit of a dead cat bounce, but I doubt it. Because roughly, I mean, imagine this. You have a massive mining farm in China, a huge warehouse. And then all of a sudden you're shut down. What are you going to do? You're going to relocate elsewhere. Iceland, Greenland, America, even Hawaii, all these other places. How long is that going to take? Well, the Chinese move pretty freaking fast. So, yeah, but they're going to have to basically pack it all up, get it in shipping containers or aeroplanes and fly over to another country, get into a new unit, set it all up. So it's going to take 3 to 6 months to pick it up. But here's the thing. The hash rate has picked up quite a lot since. And when you combine that with the difficulty rate, which has just had the biggest slump ever, what this means is that the existing miners right now are raking it in. Absolutely raking it in because the difficulty rate has fallen. So let's say you're a miner in the West that hasn't been affected by China, you've got all these, ASICs just mining. Well, all of a sudden, it's just got a lot easier to mine. And a lot of your competition in China has just gone offline. So difficulty rate has dropped. Hash rate's picked up a bit. There's some very happy miners over there. And last things for, in terms of the on-chain stuff, I'm just going to zoom out a bit. This is where I'm slightly cautious. Okay, so I'm going to show you 3 or 4 more charts. So this is, I won't explain too much. This is basically long-term holder net unrealized profit or loss. And for the long-term holders, basically what happens is that whenever it gets into the blue and the green, that's when the long-term holders, so the big whales, sell. As you can see here, with every major crash, we've had the big old crash. They sell early, and then the market drops. They sell a bit early sometimes, and then it crashes. And we've had the same thing here. It started getting into the blue zone where they started effectively selling or getting into the euphoria phase. And then the market. But then when you look at the short-term holders, what's happened now is that we're in the capitulation phase. So what's basically showing us is that short-term holders are in pain right now because every man and his dog bought crypto, Bitcoin at 60. And I'm getting out. So the tourists are buggering off. I mean, this still could fall a lot further, but we're in the middle of the transition. So $30,000 to $40,000 Bitcoin is actually like a no man's land. It's like the gray zone. Big boys don't really want to wade in around 30. They want to get filled in at around 25 to 30. Whereas, little hodlers like us, we're like happy with, with you can see the active addresses. So if you look at so all Bitcoin addresses with 0.01 of a Bitcoin to 0.1 still rising. So it's pretty flat. So Bitcoin wallets with 0.1 to 1 Bitcoin, again, bit of an uptick, starting to get back in. Wallets between 1 and 10 Bitcoin, sharp uplift. There's a lot of people with a fair chunk of cash, a couple of grand, jumping back into Bitcoin right now. They see this as a good value, so they're jumping in. Those with 10 to 100 Bitcoin, again, sharp up. Basically showing us that people are buying the dip. There is a but here. Those with 100,000 Bitcoin or 100 to 999 Bitcoin, they're not really doing much. They're sort of staying still. 1,000 to 10,000, they're pretty flat. And more than 10,000 Bitcoin, pretty flat. So the big whales, basically anyone with 100 Bitcoin or more, isn't doing anything just yet. They're waiting. And the reason they're waiting is because whilst the average punter is looking at the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart, which is what all, a lot of newbies do. They just dick around on the lower time frame charts. All the big boys. So what's happening on the weekly chart? Well, the weekly chart is still pretty bearish at the moment. And I wouldn't be surprised if seeing a bit of a wick down to 24 area. If I was to draw some lines here. It's like they're playing a song with their drills. Here we go, one sec. So, this is how I see the market right now. Looking at this on the weekly chart. The big boys are looking for a spike to 25. And that's where you'll see a lot of people buying up. And the long-term holders, the big whales that sat still at the moment, they're going to be looking for a fill around here. $30,000 to $40,000 is like a meh, grey man, no man's land, and it's a safe play for small fry like us, because this move down here is going to be rather fast. Once we break above 40,000, there's going to be loads of institutions out there going, let's get back in now, because they don't want to dick around with any of the pain and the risk here. What they want to do is they want to mitigate their ROTE, the return on time invested. So by getting back in here when Bitcoin is sailing up through 40, that's when we'll see a lot of momentum traders come back in, and that then exaggerates it a lot faster. So the move then starts picking up pretty fast, and you'll see this high being absolutely obliterated. So as we approach 60,000, what you'll actually see is a sharp move to about 75. And this is where the Johnny-come-latelys and all the retail start FOMOing in. So it's going to be sort of slowly. And as we break through sort of 40, 50, it then starts going faster. And we will clear this all-time high pretty damn fast. Normally like 50% more than that. So, yeah, we still got time. Man, this live session, I can't hear myself think at the moment. Right. The comments. Fame. 2 drills, 1 crypto expert. That is not a porno I want to watch. Right. So Tom said, close my ADA long from 101, nice, at 135, and change it to a short from 135. Sweet. Michael, can you go into why you're not massively into building a SPAC group and selling it on right now? Okay. Do you think the time has passed or too much on your plate? Exit multiples are so high at the moment that it has a huge amount of attention at the moment. What factors would change your mind to get into creating a SPAC? Thanks in advance. Okay, so here's the thing. New fancy things out there, whether it be an IPO, whether it be an agglomeration IPO, whether you reverse into a publicly listed company, whether it's a SPAC, or hell, initial coin offering or a security token offering. There are always new and fancy ways to basically create a new enterprise. So for those not familiar with what a SPAC is a special purpose acquisition company. Is it company? Doesn't special purpose acquisition? I think SPAC. Sorry. Special. Yeah, it is special purpose acquisition company. So what happens is, I mean, with easy sort of finance level here. What happens is someone sets up a company back and goes, "Hey, everyone, invest in me." Or no, what they do is they float a SPAC. So they float a publicly listed company that does nothing, and people go, "Hey, invest in this SPAC because we're going to invest in solar, or we're going to invest in crypto, etc." So if you look at someone like Chamath Palihapitiya, who's like one of the most switched on, he is all in on SPACs. Now the thing is, he has the ecosystem to basically wade in with SPACs and do as many SPACs as he can. But if you're an average bloke or an average lady that basically, if you're not worth, into the whole financial scene right now, trying to set up a SPAC is never going to work, because the reason these SPAC operate up so quickly is because they have all of the connections with all the VCs out there and the other, the big private equity firms. So Chamath Palihapitiya can go hold a dinner, venture capitalists, and go, "Hey, setting up a SPAC, it's listing. Do you want to come in?" And they're all going to be like, "Oh, I like your track record. Yes, hell yeah, baby." And then they'll go into it, and then it's fully subscribed very quickly. If your mate Dave down the pub tries to set up a SPAC, it's not going to get anywhere. Plus, it's going to cost $500,000 in fees minimum. $500,000 in fees just to blow on basically legal fees. So that's the reason I'm not into SPACs. One, I don't have the time just now, and two, I don't have $500,000 that I can just blow. I would much rather put $500,000 into crypto. So yeah. Right, Caroline Boone, howdy. Can I ask your opinion on Binance? I have my portfolio in there, and now you can't withdraw to pounds. Would it be wiser to put it in a wallet now? I've always kept it there, as not good with passwords. I'm like you, Caroline. So what you can do is just move. Yeah, you can put it into a wallet, but if you wanted to extract cash, just move your Bitcoin or Ether or whatever to like a Coinbase or Kraken, and then you can still withdraw from them. But yeah, if you have wise, moving stuff over to Kraken or Coinbase, because the whole world seems to be against Binance at the moment. But it's all FUD. It'll pick up, and when the rally starts going again, Binance is going to moon. Miguel, I'm not familiar with XTZ. What is XTZ? Let's have a look. XTZ. XTZ. It says market cap. I'm not sure what market cap. Let's have a look. No. I'm not sure what XTZ is, mate. It says market cap. But market cap of what? It's not 2.2 trillion. 3, 6. So here it's saying it's got a market cap of 2.2 trillion, but that's not the case. It's 1.3 trillion. So I'm not sure what you're saying XTC is. Oh, Tezos. Tezos? XTC. Okay. I'm not in Tezos. That's probably why I didn't get it. So, what's it saying? 2.2 billion. Okay. So that is the market cap, as in 2.2 billion to Bitcoin. So okay, you're looking at XTZ BTC. Sorry. Let's have a look. Yes. Miguel, you are correct. It's similar to gas against Bitcoin. Tezos against Bitcoin is massively undervalued. So if you are bullish on Tezos and what they're going to do, then yeah, getting into Tezos now and then waiting till Tezos goes, at least back up to these levels, then yeah, you're going to get way more Bitcoin. Nice. Facebook user bought Matic at 0.875. Feel like a bank robber. Actually, recently got back into Polkadot down here, and I feel like a bank robber. It's yeah. Tell the builders to grab some lunch. It seems like they've done absolutely nothing all morning. They've been like dicking around since 8 o'clock, doing not much, and now they're like full at it. So I say dicking around. They're probably getting stuff ready. Right. Okie dokie. Hex thought. Rich. Little. I have no idea what Hex is. No idea, mate. As I said, I do not. What is it? It's on page 2. Okay. Oh, it looks like it's gone up pretty. I really don't pay any attention to new, lots of other projects. I mean, if you look at my list right now, these are all the things I'm in, or this is part of my Kryptonian portfolio, and I've already got a ridiculous amount. So I've covered all of the bases, whether it's, new platforms to DEXs to centralized exchanges. I've already got every sort of part of that portfolio. JB, high interest rates have been low for a long time in the UK. When do you think they will rise? Not for a long time. For what kind of reason? Not. Do you think we'll ever see rates above 10% again? Yes, but not for a long time. So what's happening right now? Yeah, we've got low rates, but we're going to see a world of negative interest rates for a long time. I cannot see high. And I know my opinion has changed. So back in 2013, I said that rates are on the way up, and that we see, further falling rates. Because if you look at the 300-year UK base rate average, it's 7% is the 300-year average. However, a lot has changed over the last 300 years. Like, we have an absolute world of derivatives and financial spider webs that you didn't have 300 years ago, 200, or hell, even 100 years ago. So a lot has changed since then. So when you take that stat of 300-year average, you have to take it with a bit of pinch of salt. So yeah, the world is actually moving to a negative rate world, and it's going to stay there for a while because it's a massive stealing. Like, for example, put it this way: let's say there's 106 people on this live stream at the moment across the different platforms. Let's say I was the Bank of Siam, and you all deposited into the Bank of Siam, and I don't know. Here we go. 100 million, yeah. High ballers, fat cats, and across a lot of you've deposited £1 billion in the Bank of Siam. Okay, now let's say I was, the country of Siam and the Bank of Siam, and if I dropped interest rates to -2%, guess what? So times 0.2%, all of a sudden, I've stolen £20 million off you. And all of you are 2% poorer next year. And if I say, another negative 2% rates, let's say I maintain a -2% in negative rates. That means every year I'm making £20 million out of you, and you're all 2% poorer. So that's the beauty of negative interest rates. So if you were to take a country that has, I don't know, if you, let's say you take a medium-sized country and there's 20 trillion in wealth in banks, etc. So that was at 20 billion, 200 trillion, 2 trillion, and it goes to negative 2% rates. That country will then be getting an income stream of 400 billion a year. Now, obviously, or that area, it's going to be a lot less than that. But I mean, let's take something like the UK. If there's roughly 2 billion, 200 billion, 2 trillion times 0.2. So if there's 2 trillion in the economy, and it goes to negative rates, that the government makes 40 billion a year. So that's why the world elites or the central banks, they want things to go to negative rates. Everyone then gets poorer. Yeah, and it's a double whammy. And this is why it's so insidious, because people have no clue about economics. So there's one whammy. So let's say we're now in a world of minus 2% rates. So every year you're going to be 2% poorer. But let's say the currency supply, as we know, is still going to do this. So let's say they're inflating the currency supply at 15%. Well, guess what? Not only are you losing 2% of nominal value, you're actually losing. You're also 15% poorer because of currency dilution. And then, so you're 17% down. Whoopsie. In wealth every year. UK wages probably increases 1 to 2% a year. Let's call it 1%. You're like, oh, what do you do? 1%. Well, okay. Well, you're minus 16% poorer. So you're 16% poorer every year. And that's what everyone can. Uh-oh, the builders are screwed up. Ah! I just heard, fuck! And someone else going, oh, what? I sort of want to go down and have a little look. Anyway, so the builders don't even know I'm up here. I've been up here in the morning. So they think they're completely alone in the house. So it's really interesting listening to what they say. And I can hear them plain as day. Anyway, so that's what a lot of people don't realize. You're losing money with negative interest rates if it happens. But right now you're losing wealth with currency dilution. And so unless you're making at least 15% a year, you're actually losing money. So if you're an investor and you're like, I made 15% this year, well done, you made a net growth of 0%. Yeah. Anyway, so right. Okay, we're gonna have. Unfortunately, I won't be able to answer all of these questions. This is only supposed to be a quick update. Khalid, will I take a swing trade at 30? I'm not trading crypto, so to speak. I am basically just doing my side steps. So I don't trade crypto like I do with currencies. So I'm not like going in and out. I guess I am trading, so just in a way, but I'm just sidestepping my portfolio. So the basic premise of a sidestep is that it's portfolio protection. So let's say you're over here and you have, I don't know, the price of something is, I don't know, $100. Okay. And let's keep it simple. You've got 100 shitcoin or 100 whatever. No, that sounds 100x. 100 XYZ. So what happens is, like, let's say you miss the first dip. You're like, shit, the market's falling. And let's say you timed it really badly. And you're like, I'm out. So let's say the price here is at 90. So what happens is you've sold 100 of your shitcoin or coin times 90. So you've now got $9,000, okay? So you sit there with $9,000 and you're waiting for further falling. So let's say it carries on falling, starts to bottom out, and you're like, okay, let's get back in again. Looks quite bullish. In the short term on the charts, looks like it could be a bottom. So you're now buying in at 60, okay? So what happens, whoopsie, you take your $9,000, you divide that by 60. Guess what? You've got 150 XYZ now. YZ. But guess what? It fakes out and it starts falling, and you're okay. It looks like you'll know if it's about to fall because you'll see all sorts of rising compression stuff, like all the stuff I've shown you today. Like, for example, ADA. I've been talking about this for weeks. About ADA is in. ADA is being squeezed. Whoopsie. If you look at these original drawings here, so going back to literally 2 weeks ago. weeks ago, I started drawing this rising compression and said, look, we're going to see further falling on ADA. And everyone's like, no, ADA's going to the moon. This is when it hit 150. And I'm like, nah, we're seeing crashing here. And guess what's happened? It's gone from 150 down, or it actually hit 120 earlier. So you know the telltale signs, just like what I've been saying with Bitcoin. So going back to this example, you'll know if it's falling. So you'll be able to get back out at some point. I don't know here. Sometimes you make a little profit along the way. But let's say you sell out, break even again. So you kill that. You're back in. You've probably got $9,000. In fact, after fees, let's say you've screwed up a bit. You're $8,500. Market crashes a bit more. It's now 50. Makes another bottom, or it looks like it could reverse. Well, guess what? You take your 8,500, divide that by 50. Oh, you now got 170 X, Y, Z. Great. But guess what? Let's say it's doing something like this, and you're like, shit, it's another rising compression and falling market. I'm going to sell. Probably sold at 55 now because it has gone up a bit. So you take your 170, you sell it for 55. You've now got 9,350. Now, whilst you're doing all of this, you really shouldn't give a shit about your US denominated value here, because this is going to fluctuate up and down. I really don't care about my dollar value of the portfolio. All I care about is what is the uplift I'm getting. So you sell, and then let's say it crashes again. You're like, sweet, I'm going to buy in at 35. Whoopsie. So you take your 9,350, divide that by 35, and you're like, God damn, I've got 267 XYZ. And this is how I'm feeling with Polkadot right now. So I'll give you a hint. I've literally just gone back into Polkadot. It's a steal. It is a steal. Bear in mind, I originally got into Polkadot on the 12th of January, which is around sort of $9. And then I've been buying all the way up. So I've accumulated a lot more. But buying back at 13 when it was around 45, I feel like I've just robbed, Gavin Wood. So so right now, and so let's say you're back in here. Let's say you've done in, and let's say there's no more falling, and then it starts bottom out, and then it starts to go back up. Well, guess what? Yes, the US denominated value is going to go up, but guess what? You've got 267 XYZ, and you started off with 100, so that's 167% uplift. Wait a minute, my math is shit. I always get this wrong. This is how bad I am at maths. You started with, so what's the difference? 167. You divide that by the original, which is 100 times 100. Yeah, 167%. So what's happened is that even though the market has been crashing, by the time you get back to break even, back at 100, you've now, instead of sat here with, originally you had 10,000, you now got 267. So you've now got $26,700. That's all I'm doing with all of these side steps. I'm not trading. I'm just protecting my portfolio. That's all I'm doing. And as the market falls and falls and falls, I'm doing my little side steps. And so I've bought in today a fair chunk of my position. I'm not going to say which ones and where. That's for my students. They know. I literally sent out a Telegram today. But I think I've grown my token holdings by over 100% since the fall. Now, some of them, if I look at sorry. No, which one is it? So there are some coins which haven't actually fallen that hard. I think Sol is probably one that hasn't fallen too hard. I mean, I was buying Sol in from $30 upwards anyway. And so it's now back down at 28, 30. So I haven't actually increased my holdings too much. I have a little bit on Sol, but not too much. Whereas some of them, more than 100%. So, right. Gas. Where's gas? Come on. Here we go. So gas has run away a little bit. I'm still bearish on gas though. I know the Neo is releasing a whole bunch of stuff soon, but Neo looks weak. As I said the other day, I see further falling down to 30 on Neo. And if it does do that, gas is going to come right back down. Lucid Chronicles, so I'm seeing all these random comments. Lucid Chronicles, if interest rates go up, doesn't that mean governments will be in big trouble with their big debts? Yeah, they will. It's because at the moment, governments around the world are struggling to pay the interest-only repayments on their trillion-dollar debts. So they cannot let the whole world will go bankrupt. And the central banks will start owning all the world. So said, are you waiting for Atom to fall a bit more? Yes, I am. Lucid Chronicles, problem is for negative rates to work, physical cash will need to be abolished. Well, yeah. Everyone, please go to Simon Kidd on YouTube, click my face, and then try and find... debt. Who do we owe? Here we go. Click this video. Who do we owe all this debt to? You click this. And this is where I start talking about the cashless society, etc. And I talk about going negative rates, getting rid of cash, all that sort of stuff. So I'll put this in the link. Share, copy. I don't know where this goes to. Right. Again, I just want to say, folks, big scam warning. Never, ever, ever. Never, ever. Never, never, ever. Did you hear the builders? He just went, oh my good Lord. Anyway, never, ever, ever send crypto never, ever, and never, like never send crypto to someone expecting to get more back. Ever. Every live stream this is a good bullshit detector, folks. Every live stream I do, there are scammers in the comments thread. So I'm looking at Robert Vlog and Harris Hay saying, because people clone my profiles and then go, look, Simon Kidd, the real estate trader. Wow, I'm happy for the bonus of 0.6 Bitcoin I got right now. Bitcoin. Keep up the good work. I did nothing of the sort. If you send me 0.2 Bitcoin, I'm going to send it right back to you. I'm not going to give you more. Nice project, Simon. We worked. I transferred 0.05 Bitcoin to the wallet above and received 0.15. Sure you did. So yeah, please, I think these idiot... I guess I'm pretty sure they're all foreign. These foreign scammers. Anyway, right. I think that's all we have. In fact, it is all we have time for today. It's just a little update. Now, quick announcement. Tomorrow, I'm holding a really cool interview. So I am interviewing my buddy Neil. And we are talking about, what's it say? I can't see it. I can't read it. What's it? How to identify when you need investment, the types of investment available, and how to attract investors. That's what the book is about, called Pitch Perfect. Yeah, so I'm interviewing a guy who is a financier. And he's talking all about investment. There's no pitching. He's not selling anything. I'm not going to sell anything. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So we'll be there at 12 o'clock. By the way, the only thing I trader and the WAP. That is it. So yeah, so thewap.org. Basically, if you want to learn how to get into business, check it out. And I've got the Realistic Trader community where I share everything, all my trades, yada yada. That's pretty much. I've got other businesses, but they're the main things I focus on. So yeah, hope today's helped. I'm so sorry I haven't been able to answer every single question. But yeah, I'll be doing more of these, don't worry. And I will see you soon. Or hopefully see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Right. Toodles. Gonna love you and leave you. Have a good one.